are you doing, sir?
I'm great, and I see Battle of the Planets, Gotcha Man in back of you, man. Hearts out to you.
I've been waiting for them to do some sort of movie with these characters. The idea
Yes.
is so good. I just don't get it.
Yep. It's so one of my favorites. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, by the way, maybe this will help get things made as more people see
Maybe,
it, you know?
maybe so. Yes.
It's really good IP.
Yes.
A bunch of questions for you. The first being, I'm sure there was many different ways you could put Tom and Jerry on screen. The different from the cartoon version to like a more photorealistic one. Could you sort of talk about how you guys settled on the way Tom and Jerry were going to look in the film, and if it was ever radically different?
Yeah. No, one of my big inspirations was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And what I loved about that hybrid world is that they always just were specific to the two rules that these two universes have, one being animated, one being real. And when I thought about Tom and Jerry and how they should be represented on screen, you can look at, some have taken it and made it 3D or tried in some way to make the characters real. And we just always wanted to, if you're going to bring these characters back to life, why not make sure they look like what you remember? That every generation, especially those older generations who grew up on this, see something that they recognize. And there doesn't have to be any moment of you trying to figure out, okay, does this look like Tom? We tried as best possible, knowing that most of these original artists aren't with us anymore. We tried as much as we could to make it look just like the original characters. And hopefully the true fans of this cartoon enjoy that.
I laughed a lot when I saw the Tim Burton Batman joke in the movie. Did you call Tim to be like, hey, I want to do this? Or was it like, how'd that come into the movie?
Yeah, no, I didn't call him. Maybe I should have. But I just remember at some point we had Tom flying up around in the city. And one of my favorite movies, of all time was that original Batman. I remember just the nostalgia. I remember standing in line, being around the corner. And to give homage to that, especially also being at Warner Brothers, I felt like, we should be able to pull this off. And I just wanted to give homage to some artists that I know of, and Tim Burton being one of them, that if I did this, those that get it would get it.
I was one of those people. I would imagine that something like this, and you bring up Roger Rabbit, everything has to be very meticulously planned out when you're doing a Tom and Jerry movie, because you have live action with animated characters. How much did that sort of impact the freedom that you sometimes have when making a movie on set, where someone might come up with an idea, but you have so much planned out because you got to, I'm just curious that balance.
Yeah. What's interesting is I found I didn't really know it when I was shooting, but as I got into post-production, I had never done animation like this in such a way that it meant so much to the story, where you had main characters that were animated. I actually found that in post, I had more freedom than I remember. I'm so used to coming to set and dealing with actors who come with certain choices, and you kind of depend on them to bring those choices. Here I was at times going, okay, we've plotted out this, but if a character came up with an idea, one thing that I've always had a rule that if you have a better idea, well, let's use yours. And so these actors would sometimes throw things out there. Mike was really good at ad-libbing stuff, and Chloe as well. And when they threw something out, we just made sure that the animation matched what they did, and it kind of worked out several times in the movie.
Are there any Easter eggs that people should look out for in the film?
We do show you a couple of characters in this Tom and Jerry world. There's I'm not giving away any story points, but there's Goldie, the goldfish that was in Minnie, and we also have Droopy inside of who was in the Tom and Jerry universe that we kind of winked to, as well as other characters that were also in the cartoons with Tom and Jerry, like Butch. So we had a lot of fun bringing those characters kind of back to life and showing you who they were.
On that note, I got to stop. I'm just going to say congrats, and hopefully, Gotcha Man will happen at some point.
Yeah, we both hope. Thanks, my man.
Exactly.